expand your lifespan by 20 years with these exercises. I'm Coach Ábris, founder of Demi Cycle Protocol, and over the past year we've helped over 50 high achievers and corporate executives over the ages of 40 and 50 permanently get below 15% body fat, double their natural energy levels, and get in the best shape of their life without having to count calories, train more than 2 to 3 hours per week, or take sleep drugs, sleep medication, melatonin, or abusing stimulants. Okay? But without restrictions and without being disciplined, right? How can you actually expand your lifespan and live to 100 years old? Okay? So you don't have to be too hard on yourself, and you don't have to follow a neurotic fitness lifestyle in order to be able to lower your biological age, because there is a certain difference, or in better cases, in more ideal cases, there is a difference between your chronological and your biological age. You could be a 40 or 50-year-old man in the body of a 20-year-old, and this is exactly what we do with our clients. And if you don't believe it, just let me show you a couple of results what I'm talking about. Okay, so up here you can see their bodies. Okay, they transform, they have abs, they are shredded, they have six-pack, everything that you wanted, everything that you are dreaming about. But here is the gist. Not sure how sharp the sleep stats are, but here are the sleep, heart rate, and lung metrics, which have improved massively. So for us, it's not uncommon to have a client who is 45 years old but has the lungs and heart of a 25-year-old. Why? Because our methods are very simple, sustainable, and are focused on longevity rather than only chasing temporary gains or temporary results that you can see in all of these scam or fad diets, right? Like keto, carnivore, paleo, or what you can see on these 90 days shredding challenges, 75 hard, or you name it. Okay, so what we use is very simple, is the triangle of longevity. Let's say here is the magic number 100, becoming a centenarian. Is there a guarantee that you will become ever a centenarian? No, absolutely not. I have seen Italians smoking 2 packs a day, drinking wine and eating ungodly amounts of carbs, but getting enough sunlight, and being low cortisol enough that they live to 100 years. It's not so easy that it has a simple formula or anything like that. But many researchers have shown that certain types of movements or certain forms of exercise can increase your lifespan and can put over 15 to 20 years on top of what you could expect normally by just living the standard Western or the standard American lifestyle. Okay, so let's say your ideal, or not ideal, but by default your life expectancy would be 80 years, right? You can easily live to 100 if you are following exercise framework and workout routine, especially for your heart health and your cardio, that supports these goals and that are suitable to your lifestyle and your movement patterns. So this is exactly what we are doing to our clients, and we will discover each edges of this longevity triangle. So what are the 3 main types of exercise or working out that actually will help you live a longer life, and how do we do that? So most of these types of movements, it's primarily saying, these are not for fat loss. Cardio is not for fat loss. High intensity training is not for fat loss, right? These are all for heart and lung health. Our goal is to increase your lung capacity, so your blood oxygen levels alike, and to strengthen your heart muscles, right? So it can beat for longer, it can supply your body longer. And it's another factor that you want to get rid of your excess pounds, and I have countless of previous videos about that. How do we lose those pounds without counting calories or without following restrictive diets, so it's sustainable for you for life? Okay, so if you get to that level that you can do these, you will understand that nutrition and sleep are the main drivers of actually losing fat. But when it comes to exercise, they are the main drivers of keeping your heart and your lungs healthy. So no matter what you do, you gotta stay in motion for the rest of your life. The good news is that only 90 minutes of weekly effort, of weekly cardio, can massively improve your health and expand your lifespan. But what type of cardio should you be doing, right? So I would say your baseline should be spending at least 6 to 8,000 steps in the zone 2 range. So it's like a middle or a little bit fast-paced volt every single day. It's not that taxing on your heart, right? It's pretty easy to get started with, even if you're like 300 pounds, right? But it will have a massive benefit. But let's go up one level and let's see the specific cardio workouts on all 3 edges of this triangle. So here we've got, so in the bottom right, at least it's right for me, it's HIIT, high intensity interval training. So what really matters here is that in this particular type of exercise, you are alternating between high intensity and middle or low intensity periods. So let's say you're spending half a minute or 1 whole minute in zone 5, which is like very high heart rate, more than 90% of your total or your maximal heart rate, right? And then it's like sprinting or something very fast-paced, biking, whatever. And then you're going back, let's say for 2 minutes to zone 2, which is like a middle or fast-paced volk, right? In a nutshell, this is high-intensity interval training, or it could be a CrossFit circuit or whatever kind of circuit workout that you can imagine, where you're doing one or multiple different exercises in a row until you completely speed up your heart rate, and then you rest and just walk around in between the sets, so you're completely rested, so you're waiting for your heart rate to normalize. So this is high intensity interval training in a nutshell. I wouldn't go into too much the details, I don't want to bore you with that, but it is clinically proven with hundreds of thousands of participants all around the world that this will enhance and expand your expectable lifespan, right? And those clients of mine who are doing this are very successful with their heart rate metrics, with their lung metrics. So for example, their respiratory rate. They have a respiratory rate of a 25-year-old at the age of 50, right? They are at the lower end of the healthy range low, so like 12 to 13 breaths per minute, right? Respirations per minute. So that's pretty solid, but what really matters here is that it does improve your health metrics, and it's way beyond just fat loss. Okay, fat loss is cool, looking better is cool, but what really matters is how you feel, how your overall well-being is, and how you perform in your everyday life. Do you run out of breath when you're running up the stairs, or is it just like a simple everyday chore for you, right? So it's very important when it comes to being present for your family, when it comes to playing with your grandkids, for example, keeping up the rhythm with the younger ones in your family, and not being a burden for them, but being of help to them, okay? So that's why it is important. High intensity interval training is a great way of getting there, but it's not the only one. The other one is NVO2 max. What is that? That's Norwegian VO2 max, which means blood oxygen enhancing workout in Norwegian style. So that's a little bit more advanced. I might have talked about VO2 max in one of my previous videos. It's basically just taking your highest, your maximal heart rate as 100%, taking about 80 or 85, 80 to 85% of that, and doing stationary cardio at that heart rate for 25 to 30 minutes straight. This is VO2 max basically. It enhances your lifespan, indeed, but Norwegian VO2 max is insane for improving your lung capacity fast. Of course, you already need to have some previous work capacity to do this, so start with Volk, start with high intensity interval training or just standard VO2 max workouts. And once you get to that level where you could do the Norwegian and you can comfortably do that 2 to 3 times per week, that's when you should really get started with it. And the Norwegian VO2 max is nothing else but taking a very high-paced heart rate for 1 minute straight. So by very high, I mean like 85 to 90% of your maximal heart rate. For 1 to 2 minutes straight, then going back to zone 2 at about 60% of your maximal heart rate. So zone 2-ish, not exactly zone 2, but going back to 60% for 4 minutes, okay? So it's like 1 to 2 and 4 minute intervals alternating each other 4 to 5 times, and then you call it a day. Okay, so you can be done with this in 25 to 30 minutes. It's not that difficult. Okay, and another way of increasing your lifestyle, another exercise that you could be doing is Russian ladder. And this is one of my personal favorite. This is for those who not only want to live longer, but want to increase their physical work capacity in the gym or in any kind of resistance training that you might be doing at whatever workout facility that you're using. So the Russian ladder is a type of ladder training which looks like this. Step, 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 peak, step, 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 step down. What does that mean? In Russian ladder, you're picking 3 different exercises. This could be just body weight exercises, floor exercises, whatever you do. So you can do this anywhere and everywhere, you know, anytime, even when you're on traveling, when you're on business trips, when you are flying out to conferences and you've got only 20 minutes in your hotel room for yourself, then you can use those 20 minutes to hit a Russian ladder session. So you're picking 3 very simple exercises that you could be doing a lot of reps of. I will tell you why this is important. So I usually prefer to pick 1 exercise for legs, 1 exercise for pulling muscles, and 1 exercise for pushing muscles. So for example, in your case, this could be looking like 1 bodyweight squat, 1 push-up, and 1, let's say, towel row or pull-up. If you can't do a pull-up yet, just do rubber band curls, towel rows, whatever is available for you as a pulling exercise, okay? Or as an alternative. So the first step of this ladder, hopefully the ladder is visible here, will be 1, 1, 1 rep of each of these movements, and then you rest for 30 to 60 seconds, okay? Are you prepared for the next step? How surprising it is! The next step will be 2 of these reps with no rest in between, so you're circulating these exercises, and then you're resting the same amount. And then you're going for 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4. And you keep going up on this ladder. Usually I instruct my clients to do initially just like 6 to 8, then later on 10, 12 reps at the top of this ladder or wherever the capacity is. And then they start climbing down this ladder. So once you get to, let's say, the top of this ladder is 10, 10, 10 reps. So 10 push-ups, 10 bodyweight squats, 10 towel rows, or 10 pull-ups, or whatever. Once you've done that, then you rest again, and the next one you're just doing 9, 9, 9. Just like the Germans say. Then you're doing 8, 8, 8, 7, 7, 7. And you keep climbing down this ladder until you reach 1, 1, 1 again. This is an incredibly fun workout, and the best thing about it is that you can infinitely customize it. So even if you have no equipment, even if you have nothing around you, right? You can be creative with it and use your favorite exercises, meanwhile burning a ton of calories and ultimately making your heart and your lungs stronger. So the ideal amount of any of these exercises is a total of 90 minutes per week. So if you have problems finding or allocating 90 minutes on a weekly basis to this, probably your health is not a #1 priority for you, or not even #2 or #3, right? But if you have been putting your health on the back burner for several years or decades by now, then you should definitely start reassessing your timetable, fixing your sleep so you will get more clarity on your schedule. And once you have fixed your sleep, which I talk a lot about in my previous videos, then you will actually have access to more time because you get things done faster and you won't have a slammed schedule, and you will be able to find just 20 or 25 minutes a day or even less than that just to do these exercises. So, or every second day, every third day, you could be doing VO2 max, high intensity interval training, or Russian ladder training, right? You could structure your week like on Monday you're doing high intensity interval training, on Wednesday you're doing a round of Norwegian VO2 max, on Friday or Saturday you're doing a Russian ladder. Or you can say, hey Ábris, I want to be doing 2 Russian ladders a week and 1 Norwegian VO2 maxes. Feel free to do these. What really matters is that these exercises, either done separately or done together, have the potential to add 15 to 20 years to your life expectancy. So that's a huge benefit for you. So don't just look at the fact that they, yes, help you to burn more calories. Yes, they might contribute to your fat loss processes, but ultimately, that's the job of nutrition and sleep. So this is primarily for longevity. So if you are interested in living a long and fulfilled life where you're not a burden for your kids and you're still feeling vital, energetic, and healthy, even at the age of 70, 80, or 90, then you should definitely take these into consideration. Find your favorite movement patterns, get some personalized guidance on that. And once you get to that level that you can do more advanced stuff, just start enjoying and start doing these, right? But just start with the basics, right? You don't have to overcomplicate this, but you do have to discover what works for you the best. And if you have problems with your discipline, or if you have problems with getting started, you don't really know how to figure these out and how to put the right nutrition, the right sleep frameworks in place next to these to be able to fully enjoy the benefits, then I highly recommend to you to go to the description below, book a free call with us, and on that consult, we will give you an entire game plan and roadmap on how we would get you below 15% body fat over the next 6 months and double your natural energy levels without counting calories, without training more than 2 to 3 hours per week, without being too slammed with your schedule, or without having to abuse stimulants for energy levels, without having to take melatonin or other sleep drugs for your sleep, right? So all with natural methods, we would help you to contribute to your longevity and get in the best shape of your life in the sustainable way where you don't have to yo-yo your body weight anymore and you don't have to restrict your diet. So if this is something that you would be interested in right now and you would be able to commit to your health goals and invest in your health at this day, on this very day of existence, then book this free call with us and we can talk about potentially working together. But if you're a procrastinator, if you're afraid of your own success, and if you're not ready to stay committed to a very simple and time-efficient program, right, then don't book a free call. Let's not waste each other's time. Probably your mind is not in shape yet. So what do I mean by getting your brain in shape? So getting your mind in shape. So I talk a lot about that in my previous video, or all of my previous videos to be honest, and I highly invite you to watch those and to learn from those. So once you get to the point where your mindset is in the right place and you're ready to get committed to a program, you're ready to invest in your health, then you can also book a free call and see if you're a good fit to work with each other. Okay? Otherwise, if you enjoyed this video, just drop a like and a subscribe. Make sure to turn on the notifications bell and share this with your friends, family, your employees, colleagues, workmates, teammates, or whoever is important to you and you want them to live a long and fulfilling, lean and energetic life. And thanks for watching. See you in the next one.